Y'all, the rap game just took a turn nobody saw coming, and Drake. Yeah, the champagne poppy. He just went full B asterisk, asterisk, H mode asterisk, and fans are not letting this one slide. After weeks of simmering tension, low-key shade, and some subtle not so subtle Instagram unfollows, the beef between Drake and A$AP Rocky just exploded, and it's messier than a reality TV breakup in the middle of Coachella. We talked in deleted tweets, late-night rants, behind-the-scenes industry whispering, and a diss track that had Drake pressed like a designer suit in Paris. Word on the street. Drake's latest track flopped hard, and guess who popped up with some slick bars throwing direct shade? Yep, pretty Flacco himself. And let's just say, Drake ain't built for this level of petty. Sources close to the OVO camp say he's spiraling, arguing with his team, cutting off friends, even threatening to pull out of major deals just to get revenge. But here's where it gets crazy. Insiders say Rihanna might have played a role behind the scenes. Yup, her name is being whispered all over this drama. Buckle up, 'cause this story, it's straight reality TV meets rap beef. And it's only just getting started. The first signs that something was off came when Drake randomly archived a bunch of his Instagram posts late one night. Fans were confused at first, thinking maybe he was just rebranding or prepping for a surprise drop. But something about the energy felt ... off. Then boom, A$AP Rocky goes live on his burner, sipping Henny and laughing. And when a fan comments what you think of Drake's new track, Rocky just smirks, leans into the camera, and says, "That boy's still singing breakup songs in 2025. Man, grow up." Twitter blew up instantly. And it wasn't even just what Rocky said, it was the way he said it. The confidence, the tone, the shade. Fans started connecting dots, pulling up old interviews, dissecting lyrics, realizing that Rocky might have been throwing subliminals for months, and nobody really caught it. And Drake, oh, he caught it. Sources close to him said he was pacing in the studio, replaying Rocky's live like 100 times, just fuming. Then came the track that shook everything. Rocky dropped a surprise freestyle on a radio show in New York. No promo, no warning. And in the middle of the second verse, he raps, "You the sixth god, but you move like a jealous ex. All in your feelings when she chose a man with less stress." Fans went nuts. The lyric hit like a shot to the chest. Everyone instantly knew who he was talking about. Rihanna, the world's favorite bad gal, Rocky's girl. And Drake's forever what if. This wasn't just rap beef. This was personal. Drake stayed quiet for 24 hours. Which was already weird. Normally, he'd respond with a quote tweet, a passive-aggressive lyric, something. But this time, silence. Then word started leaking that his team was in full panic mode. The track he had just dropped, a soft R&B rap hybrid called Loyalty Over Love, had just tanked. Numbers were weak, fans weren't vibing, and Rocky's diss had completely stolen the spotlight. Behind the scenes, insiders said Drake was not taking it well. He allegedly stormed out of a meeting at OVO HQ, yelling at his A&R team, saying they let him drop that weak S asterisk asterisk without warning him it wouldn't land. Apparently, he even blamed one of his producers, telling him, "You set me up. You knew that wasn't it." Things escalated when Drake unfollowed Rocky, Rihanna, and even a few mutuals, including Kendall Jenner, who had just posted a story listening to Rocky's freestyle. Petty? Yes. On brand for Drake. Absolutely, but here's where it gets wild. A few days later, someone close to the A$AP mob leaked an alleged voice memo, and this thing went viral in minutes. In the recording, a voice that sounds just like Drake is heard saying, "I made her, bro. I gave her songs, bars, respect, and she still picked that dude over me." Fans debated the audio's authenticity, but people who knew his voice swore it was real. The tone, the emotion, the bitterness, it all checked out. And once that clip started circulating, the memes went into overdrive. Drake in his diary again, one fan tweeted, "This man cried on a track and thought he won the beef." Meanwhile, Rocky stayed unbothered. He posted a photo dump of him and Rihanna in Italy, with the caption, "Real love don't stream, it lasts." It was clearly a dig, and it hit Drake where it hurt his pride and his playlist. That's when things really turned messy. Insiders claim Drake had already been planning a major end-of-year tour called The Lover Turned Savage Tour, a full cinematic experience that told the story of heartbreak, betrayal, and redemption. But now, he was allegedly scrapping the concept altogether. He didn't want to look weak or give the haters ammo. People around him said he was spiraling. One close friend claimed he's rewriting tracks. He's canceling features. He even pulled out of a collab with Shaw last minute. It's like he's trying to burn it all down and start over. Even his inner circle was getting caught in the crossfire. Apparently, Noah 40 Shabib, his longtime producer, tried to calm him down, telling him to focus on the music, not the drama, but Drake wasn't trying to hear it. He reportedly snapped back, "You don't get it, bro. They're laughing at me out there. This ain't about music anymore." And just when people thought things couldn't get more intense, boom! Another twist, someone from Drake's old crew. An OVO affiliate who hadn't been seen in public with him for years popped up on Clubhouse and spilled tea. He claimed that Drake had been texting Rihanna as recently as 2 months ago, trying to reconnect under the guise of checking in. But the messages weren't casual. He allegedly sent her a long paragraph about how they were always meant to be and how he still dreams about the night they almost got back together in London. But the worst part? Rihanna never responded. When that detail hit social media, fans lost it. Bro got ghosted and now he beefing over it. One tweet read, "Another said this man Drake playing emotional chess while Rocky out here playing Uno with reverse cards." And Rihanna, she didn't say a word. But she didn't have to. The next day, she posted a story of her and Rocky riding jet skis, with the song "Needed Me" playing in the background. No caption, just vibes. And that's when Drake reportedly hit his breaking point back in the studio. Drake was seen pulling all-nighters, obsessing over a new track that was supposedly going to be his response to everything. Insiders described it as dark, vengeful, and way more aggressive than anything he's dropped in years. One engineer called it "Take Care meets Back to Back, but with a heartbreak vendetta." But here's the thing, label wasn't on board. Sources said they didn't want him reigniting a full-blown beef over a woman, especially one he's not even with. They feared it would make him look emotional and bitter, not strategic. And that only fueled Drake's anger. He felt betrayed by his own team. "They only want me when I'm making chart hits," he allegedly told someone during a studio rant. "They don't care about how I feel. They just want numbers." And that's when the whispers about him pulling out of his Spotify exclusive deal started. Apparently, Drake had been in talks for a multi-album rollout under a new visual format. But now he was threatening to walk away from the whole thing. "If they won't let me speak my truth, I'm not giving them nothing," he reportedly said. Things were falling apart fast, both publicly and behind the scenes. And as the world watched Drake spiral, ASAP Rocky, he was just getting started with Drake spiraling in the studio, cutting off deals and burning bridges left and right. ASAP Rocky was moving like a man who already knew he won the war. He didn't need to drop another diss. He didn't need to go on live again. All he had to do was let Drake self-destruct. And that's exactly what he was doing. But what fans didn't know yet was that Rocky had more cards to play. The day after the jet ski story with Rihanna went viral, a mysterious snippet surfaced online. It was less than 30 seconds, but the voice, unmistakably Rocky. And the bar that had everyone screaming was this: "Boy been crying in his mansion, texting ghosts, writing novels, trying to be romantic. She with me, raising babies, you still writing stanzas." Twitter caught fire. People were calling it the nail in the coffin. Fans started clowning Drake again, posting memes of him in the studio looking heartbroken while Rocky and Rihanna were out living their best lives. Even celebrities started liking shady posts. Tyler, the creator, reposted the snippet with a laughing emoji. Lil Yachty commented under a fan page, saying, "Drizzy, gotta log off for a minute, FR." And just like that, the pressure mounted. Drake, according to sources, didn't sleep that night. His team begged him to ignore it, to not give Rocky more fuel. But he couldn't. That bar crying in his mansion, texting ghosts, hit too close to home. One OVO affiliate said, "He's not even mad at Rocky. He's mad at himself. He knows it's all true, and that's what's eating him alive." Meanwhile, drama inside the camp kept getting messier. Someone from the OVO sound label leaked that internal meetings were turning chaotic. A&R reps were divided. Some wanted Drake to pivot, drop a feel-good anthem, distract fans with a viral dance track. Others were pushing for the savage route, a cold, calculated diss track that would remind people Drake isn't just emotional, he's strategic. But the issue, Drake wasn't thinking strategically. He was thinking emotionally. And when Drake thinks with his heart, he writes, like a man with something to prove. That's when he locked himself in the studio for 3 days straight. No phone, no distractions. Just him, a notebook, and a bottle of 1942. Word got out that he wasn't even letting his team inside. One engineer who finally got access on day 3 said Drake looked like he hadn't eaten or slept. The song he was working on, reportedly titled Bittersweet Revenge. Insiders claim the first verse was all jabs, not just at Rocky, but at Rihanna too. The lines were allegedly cruel, clever, and deeply personal. One bar allegedly said, "You built a home in my lyrics. Now you lay with the landlord." Fans speculated it was a shot at Rihanna moving on and starting a family with someone else, after being such a pivotal muse in Drake's career. But then things took a dangerous turn, apparently. Someone from the mastering team leaked part of the track to a blogger. And once that blogger went public with the lyrics, the backlash was immediate. Rihanna's fan base, the Navy, didn't hold back. They accused Drake of being bitter, misogynistic, and obsessed. One fan tweeted, "Imagine airing out a woman who already rejected you years ago. It's giving incel energy." The internet was tearing him apart. And this time, even some of his own fans were switching sides. People started posting throwbacks of past Drake interviews, where he gushed about Rihanna, compared her to his first real love, and admitted she was the only one who could ever make him nervous. Now those clips were being used as ammo, people calling him a hypocrite, a clout chaser, a man who never healed. The noise got so loud, Drake's label reportedly issued a soft block on the track, delaying its release and demanding he rewrite parts of it. But Drake, furious and stubborn, refused. One insider claimed he yelled in a meeting. Everybody had their moment. Push had his moment. Meek had his moment. Now Rocky think he can stand on my name too? Nah. I gave this whole game a blueprint. They just building condos on it. But behind that fire was pain. According to a close friend, Drake had privately admitted that Rihanna was the one that got away, and seeing her happy with Rocky was like watching your dream house get built, but someone else lives in it. At the same time, A$AP Rocky wasn't staying silent either. During a backstage interview in Paris, a journalist asked if he thought the beef with Drake was real or just internet hype. Rocky laughed and said, "I ain't beefing with nobody who sings to the moon. I'm just having fun. But if you want to dance, we can dance." The clip went viral. And just like that, the narrative started shifting. Rocky was being painted as the chill, unbothered king who secured the girl and the life, while Drake was looking more and more like the emotional ex who couldn't move on. But then came the twist nobody expected. Rihanna's cousin, verified user with a decent following, went live on Instagram. And when someone brought up the drama, he dropped a bombshell. He said, "Y'all don't even know half the story. Drake was trying to fly her out to Turks on the low this summer, sending jets and everything. But she shut that down. Rocky ain't even had to say nothing. She loyal, fans lost their minds." If true, that meant Drake had still been trying to rekindle something with Rihanna this year, all while she was raising kids with Rocky. The internet had a field day. Headlines popped up everywhere. Drake tried to fly Rihanna out behind Rocky's back. Is Champagne Papi still caught up in the past? Rihanna curving Drake in private while Rocky mocks him in public. And if that wasn't messy enough, one of Drake's exes, the one from Houston, he rapped about on Jaded, suddenly went live and said he don't like losing. He'll act like he's over it, but trust, he'll write about you for the next 5 years. It's his therapy. The comments section exploded. Everyone was dragging Drake, calling him obsessive, saying he needed therapy, not a track.Drake. Who used to be the king of calculated silence, was now reacting emotionally to everything. He posted a cryptic story, a black screen with just the words, "Truth don't need permission." Fans weren't sure what it meant, but it sounded like a warning. And that warning came to life the next day when he teased a new drop. Friday, midnight. No features, no promo, just vibes. But the question was he dropping music or dropping bombs? The anticipation was building. Blogs were writing think pieces. Podcasts were debating if Drake's legacy was in jeopardy. Old beefs were being resurfaced. And all eyes were locked on Friday. Would he go too far? Would he make it worse? Or would he somehow flip the script and make himself the victim again? One thing was clear. The rap game hadn't seen this kind of emotional chaos since Push exposed the Kid. And just when the clock hit Thursday night, another leak changed everything. The internet was already counting down to Drake's midnight release when suddenly, like a lightning bolt in the middle of a blackout, the leak dropped. It wasn't just a snippet this time, it was the entire first verse of his upcoming diss track. And it was nasty. The song, now unofficially titled Bittersweet Revenge, had Drake back in his petty bag. The leaked verse started slow, almost like a confession, then flipped into full-on venom. The standout lines that had social media foaming at the mouth. She settled for vibes, not vision. Left a kingdom for a condo. Raised my pen, they raised they babies. We ain't the same, bro. People were stunned. The kingdom for a condo bar. Fans instantly connected it to Rihanna and Rocky's new house in Barbados. And when he said raised my pen, they raised they babies. That was a double shot questioning Rocky's artistry and throwing shade at him being a stay-at-home dad while Drake was building empires. But instead of winning back sympathy or clout, the response was brutal. Fans were calling it bitter, disrespectful, even misogynistic. One viral tweet said, "Drake dissing a woman for becoming a mother and being happy. This is career suicide." Another read, he really turned into the villain in his own sad love story. And then it got worse. And then it got worse. A respected hip-hop journalist tweeted that an unreleased reference track had surfaced from years ago, back when Drake was reportedly trying to ghostwrite for Rocky. The journalist claimed it contained a hook that sounded eerily similar to Rocky's 2018 hit, Praise the Lord. Now fans were saying Drake had been jealous of Rocky for longer than anyone realized. Was this beef really just about Rihanna? Or had Drake always seen Rocky as a threat? Someone cooler, more effortless? And now, with the girl he never truly got over. While everyone was analyzing bars and leaks, Rocky decided to make his next move, and he made it public. Friday morning, just hours before Drake's track was supposed to drop, Rocky posted a photo of him, Rihanna, and their 2 kids. No caption, just a heart emoji and a microphone. The timing wasn't subtle. It was strategic. Fans knew it. Drake knew it. And when one user commented, "Key, bout to cry again," Rihanna liked the comment. Yep, she actually liked it. Screenshots flew across the internet. Blogs picked it up instantly. Rihanna reacts to Drake's shade, and it's cold. The narrative was now sealed. Drake looked pressed, Rocky looked unbothered, and Rihanna, she looked powerful. But behind closed doors, Drake was boiling. According to multiple insiders, his entire rollout changed within hours. He started calling team members at 3 a.m., re-recording parts of the track, even asking one of his producers to add more venom. At one point, he reportedly asked, "Should I just leak the whole verse on her too?" To which his manager allegedly replied, "You do that, and this whole thing backfires." Tension was sky high. And then, at exactly 11:59 p.m., 1 minute before the official drop, Drake posted a black and white video teaser. It was just him walking alone through Toronto with a voiceover saying, "You gave them your best years, your bars, your truth." And they still laughed. Now it's time to stop explaining. And then, midnight, the track dropped, and it was nothing like people expected. Instead of a full diss track, Drake pulled a reverse. The first half was vicious, taking shots at Rocky's music, Rocky's fashion line, and even the way he parents. One of the coldest lines: "You dressing your son like your stylist. You want applause or advice?" But halfway through, the beat flipped. And so did the tone. Suddenly, it got soft, eerie, regretful. He started talking about how he still dreams about Rihanna, how he thought she'd be the mother of his kids, how he watches them from afar, and instead of hate, all he feels is a hollow kind of peace. It wasn't just a diss track. It was a therapy session. It was heartbreak poetry wrapped in venom. Fans were torn. Some said it was genius, that Drake had flipped the script and made it deeper than rap. Others called it manipulative, emotional blackmail. One tweet said he basically cried on the beat and called it revenge. But here's the twist. The track exploded. Within 2 hours, it hit #1 on Apple Music. Spotify crashed temporarily in some regions. YouTube comment sections were flooded. Even TikTok was already remixing the sad boy verse with clips of Drake staring at the camera from his old music videos. Was it a win? Numbers-wise, absolutely. But emotionally, that's where things got messy. Again, Saturday morning, Rocky finally responded. And he didn't do it through music. He did it through a merch drop. A $AP mob dropped a limited shirt with the words "Stop Crying. Smine." It sold out in 30 minutes. And just to twist the knife a little deeper, Rocky posted a boomerang of him and Rihanna dancing in their kitchen. Her wearing the shirt. That's when Drake hit full meltdown mode. A source close to him said he threw his phone across the studio, screamed at his assistant, and then walked out. No car, no security, just disappeared into Toronto for a few hours. Later that night, fans spotted him walking alone on Queen Street West, hoodie up, head down. Someone tried to film him, and he allegedly told them, "You really think this funny, huh?" And then, out of nowhere, a surprise live went up on Drake's burner Instagram. Barely 400 viewers caught it live before it got deleted. In it, Drake looked broken. He wasn't crying, but his eyes were heavy. He said, "Sometimes you give people everything, and they still write you out the story like you never existed." Fans who saw it said he looked like a man on the edge. And people weren't just laughing. They were worried. That was Drake, okay? Had this beef pushed him too far? Was this still entertainment? Or was it personal now, to the point of no return? Meanwhile, Rocky, cool as ever, posted a story of him playing with his kids, while Marvin's Room played softly in the background. The pettiness was elite. Fans started calling him King Savage. Memes flooded the internet. One showed Rocky holding a baby in one arm and Drake's feelings in the other. But even Drake's team couldn't deny it anymore. The damage was real. The backlash was real. And the public had chosen a side. But what happened next changed everything. Right when everyone thought the story had peaked, a new player entered the game, flipping the entire narrative upside down. Rumors started swirling that Drake wasn't just battling A$AP Rocky and his own heartbreak. There was something much deeper going on behind the scenes. Word on the street was that Drake had been dealing with major pressure from OVO's investors and even family members, pushing him to keep his image clean and commercially viable. But the emotional fallout with Rihanna and Rocky was threatening to destroy everything he built. Sources close to Drake said the man had been privately begging for a break, a real escape, but the label wasn't having it. Instead, executives allegedly demanded he release a power anthem to shift focus from the drama. Drake reluctantly agreed, but fans say you could feel the hesitation in the new track. Titled Kingdom Lost, it was a powerful song about loss and betrayal, but lacked the usual Drake swagger, sounding almost defeated. Meanwhile, A$AP Rocky's camp was quietly celebrating. Insiders revealed that Rocky had just signed a multi-million-dollar deal with a major fashion house, expanding his empire beyond music. This was the kind of stability and growth Drake seemed to be losing grip on. Plus, Rocky's image as the cool, calm and collected family man was now solid gold, making Drake's public breakdowns look even worse in comparison. But the biggest bombshell came when an anonymous insider spilled that Rihanna was growing exhausted with the entire situation. Apparently, she had tried to act as peacemaker behind the scenes, reaching out to Drake to tell him to let it go and focus on his mental health. But Drake had refused to back down, clinging to the past like a lifeline. This refusal had caused real tension between her and Rocky, who wanted her to fully commit to their family life without the public drama dragging them down. As this family drama leaked, fans and celebrities alike started weighing in. Some defended Drake's pain, saying everyone deserves closure. Others criticized him for airing personal grievances publicly and hurting the ones involved. The debates spilled over into podcasts, talk shows, and even late-night interviews, making it clear this wasn't just a rap beef anymore. It was a cultural moment then. In a shocking turn of events, Drake's longtime mentor and UVO co-founder, Young Money's Birdman, stepped in with an unexpected statement. Birdman called for peace and understanding, urging both Drake and Rocky to remember the bigger picture and stop letting pride destroy their legacies. The plea was heartfelt, and fans wondered if this was a sign that Drake might finally be ready to move past the bitterness. But Drake didn't respond publicly. Instead, he dropped a cryptic news snippet on Twitter with the words, "Sometimes the hardest battles are the ones you fight alone." Fans speculated it was a hint at his internal struggle, but others feared it was a sign of deeper turmoil. Amid all this chaos, A$AP Rocky took a surprising step. In a rare interview with Vogue, he opened up about the drama, saying, "I'm focused on my family, my music, and my peace. The rest? Noise. We all got our battles, but I'm not here to fight with ghosts." This calm, measured response only fueled the fire around Drake, making him look increasingly unstable in contrast. The public was left with more questions than answers. Would Drake finally drop his full revenge album? Would Rocky continue to rise unbothered? What role would Rihanna play in the next chapter? And was this saga a lesson in heartbreak, ego, or just plain entertainment? One thing was for sure: the rap world would never be the same. And as the fans watched, liked, and shared every update, the real winner was the drama itself, feeding the algorithm, fueling the hype, and keeping everyone hooked. So, there you have it. Drake's full B****** H mode unleashed over A$AP Rocky's diss and the whole song flop saga that's got everyone talking. This drama isn't just about music or relationships anymore. It's about pride, heartbreak, and the high stakes of fame playing out in front of millions. The family is divided, emotions are running high, and fans are shocked at how deep this beef has gone. Will Drake bounce back stronger, or has he finally met his match in Rocky? And what about Rihanna, the queen caught in the middle of this storm? Only time will tell. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Is Drake right to express his pain through music, or is he taking it too far? Do you think A$AP Rocky really won this battle, or is Drake still the king? Drop your opinions in the comments below, because we want to hear from you. If you're here for the drama, the tea, and the hottest rap news, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a beat. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over, and trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next. Peace out.